basically, this is not a particularly populated area. So right now I'm just getting Powellsville in here. And again, that would be there probably within the next couple minutes. So if you're in Powellsville, you want to be in your safe spot right now as this rotating signature passes overhead. Waiting to see if get any updates here from the National Weather Service about what they're seeing with this particular signature. We just got another scan here. So yeah, they issued this persistent rotation pretty high off the ground. But there is some signs of rotation here where we're seeing that kind of bright white color and that red. That indicates potential rotation, so it's enough that it's prompted the National Weather Service to issue this tornado warning. And again, we're seeing that signature here. So that's up around Karcher Road, Poplar Fork Road. That's the general vicinity here. And basically right over Route 522 currently is where that possible tornado is. And again, this is just radar indicated. But we have seen this persistent signature here. So I think, you folks here in eastern Greenup County, you're in the clear. Franklin Furnace, this is now well east of you as well. But near Powellsville, you want to still be in your safe spot. And this is going to make its way towards the northwestern part, most likely, of Lawrence County, Ohio as well, as this makes its way east at about 30 miles an hour. So again, that's what we're seeing here with this particular signature. As far as hail goes, not a particularly strong hail signature. Usually we're looking at reds and bright whites indicating large hail. We're not seeing that with this particular cell. But what we have been seeing is this very small but very kind of tight rotation signature. And again, that's crossing over Route 522 there. And that's near Powellsville, and that's moving off to the east at around 30 miles an hour. So we're going to continue to watch that here. Possible tornado, and again, this current warning, this is for southern parts of Scioto County, so it does not include Portsmouth and, nowhere near Huntington or Charleston or anything like that, but it is for southeastern Scioto County here until 8:45. And it's right in this zone here where we're seeing this tight signature right near Powellsville. Okay, and we just got another little update here on the scan. Updates every couple minutes. That looks a little less impressive right now on that particular scan. But again, that's right near Powellsville, where there's some possible rotation there. Some very heavy rain with this particular cell as well. And it's just that one small area there. And I'm kind of looping this over the last couple minutes here. You can kind of follow that rotating signature crossing southeastern Scioto County. So I want to see one more scan here. That's a at least one scan. That's a positive sign that looks a little less tightened up. But I want to see one more scan here to see if that's a trend or whether it could cycle back up again. Again, this cell has kind of had a history here as it's been crossing through parts of Scioto County. It actually started out in Lewis County. We were seeing some rotation with this thing earlier, and it's just kind of held itself together. And it had a pretty prominent spike. This was back at around 8:31. That was what prompted the tornado warning. Now, it doesn't look nearly that tight or that intense as far as rotation is concerned right now, but it's right near the Powellsville area, kind of right near there's the Lawrence County border, Lawrence County, Ohio border right there. So it's right near there. And so, that tornado warning does include the far northwestern tip of Lawrence County, right along Poplar Fork Road. So Lawrence County, Ohio, the far northwestern tip is also included in that tornado warning. And again, it would be, if there is a tornado, and it's just radar indicated right now, it would kind of be in this zone right in here, just north of Powellsville. And it does look like they've extended tornado warning through northern parts of Lawrence County right now. Okay, so they've extended this, and there is an update, and it does look like that rotation is tightened up once again. So this includes Center Station, Bartles, along Route 91 up through Buckhorn, under that tornado warning right now. And we're getting a number of updates here coming in. So I'm just going to check and see what's what we're seeing with this. But yeah, that's that rotation right there. It's right along the Lawrence County border. So this is now in effect until 9:15. So that's a pretty long live. So they're expecting, the National Weather Service folks are expecting this storm to maintain its structure and its strength here through 9:15. So that's concerning that this storm continues to maintain its strength like that. And again, it's located, this rotation, right along Poplar Fork Road, pretty rural area right up there in northwestern Lawrence County, Ohio. Moving off to the east at around 30 miles an hour. It looks like it almost has a little bit north of an east component with it right now. So it's probably going to scoot back across far southeastern parts of Scioto County right here. So that would include kind of Knapp Road up there. So anybody in these zones right here want to be in their safe spot as this makes its way off to the east at about 30 miles an hour. I'm going to read what the National Weather Service warning says. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Franklin Furnace, Wheelersburg. I think it's been east of there. Radar indicated rotation. And tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northwestern Lawrence County, including Waterloo and Vernon. So again, you want to get into the lowest level of your home. And there you can see that signature there. That continues to maintain itself right along the Scioto County, Lawrence County border. So I'll widen out here a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's, there's Huntington and there's Portsmouth. And so this is in between Portsmouth and Huntington, right in that southeastern Scioto County and northern Lawrence County area. So this is moving off to the east. So it's, now we're kind of focusing right on far eastern Scioto County and northern parts of Lawrence County. That's where this possible tornado would be. And it's right in that zone right there, right along the county border where we're seeing that rotating signature. I'm going to take a look. Not really seeing a strong uptick in the hail signature currently. But that velocity couplet, that red and that green zone right there, inbound and outbound winds, is showing a tight enough signature here to prompt that tornado warning. And again, that continues to make its way on off to the east at around 30 miles an hour. So some of the places that would be in that zone, that would get to Bonclay, 8:35, Center Station by 8:42, if it maintained that current path. So again, those are two places you definitely want to be in the lowest level of your home, in your safe spot, someplace without windows. If you have a basement, that's the best place to go. If you don't have a basement, maybe an interior bathroom, and just let this thing pass. And again, there's not a confirmation that it is a tornado, but it is a radar indicated tornado here that is making its way on off to the east. I got an update from, just going to check this out from Ohio. And yes, the National Weather Service, they're continuing to monitor this. And again, they have extended that warning. So some of the far eastern parts of this warning would include Sherritt's and then just south of Olive Furnace. So right along Route 93. These are places that are under that tornado warning right now. Waterloo, Mount Vernon Road, under that tornado warning right now. And again, it's for that signature right there that we're seeing as this storm continues to make its way to the east. So again, tornado warning crossing through eastern Scioto County and now into western Lawrence County. And we're seeing that strong signature there right along the county borders with the possible rotation with this system. And mostly it's a wind threat along with some very heavy rain. But primarily it's that wind signature. And there has been a bit of a notch showing up on the radar with this particular cell here when it tracked out of Lewis County, Kentucky, and made its way across southern parts of Scioto County, Greenup County, and now, starting to cross the border here from Scioto County into Lawrence County, Ohio. And so again, really, what the National Weather Service folks are keen in on when issuing these tornado warnings is this velocity signature right here, where you're seeing this red and this green together. That indicates possible rotation with this particular cell. So this continues to move its way on off to the east. And just looking for, just following that, it doesn't really show, any signs of dissipating at this point. This storm continues to maintain its structure for quite some time. And again, that continues to make its way off to the north and to the east here with that possible tornado signature right there. And again, this is right now, if we zoom in here, this is Clinton Furnace Road. That would probably be this zone right in here, Clinton Furnace Road, where there could be, a possible tornado. That's where we're seeing this rotating signature right here. And that's basically right along the Lawrence County and Scioto County border. So that's what we're looking at here for right now. So you folks off to the west are in the clear, still under tornado warning. Powellsville, this is moved east of you now. Garden City, Franklin Furnace, this is moved off to the east of you. But this is right now making its way across, basically right along the Lawrence County, Ohio border with that rotating signature that we're following here. And that's what we're going to continue to monitor here through this evening to see how long it maintains itself. And it, unfortunately, it's maintained itself really going back, over 100 miles so far, this particular cell. But it was only just recently that it prompted that tornado warning when we saw a spike in some of the velocities. So again, that's what we're seeing right there. And again, anybody in northern Lawrence County here, you want to get into your safe spot and ride this thing out. I'll put a little longer track on this thing just to kind of give you some more time. So this has it in Buckhorn 845. Again, this is a pretty rural area, so there's not a highly populated zone right here. And it does look like now, just on the latest scan, that this thing the circulation is right over top of the Lawrence County and Scioto County border. So that's what we're looking at right there. And it's approaching Route 93. So basically it looks like, this storm, whether it has a tornado or not, it's going to pass along Route 93 between Bartles and Olive Furnace. So it's going to kind of go right into that zone right there. And again, just kind of zoom in, not a lot of towns there, but we have a lot of county roads in this area. And that's where that rotating signature is going to be passing through. So this is crossing over the Scioto County border. The majority of Scioto County now is in the clear from this thing. But again, that rotation is crossing over into western Lawrence County, Ohio. And every time I mention Lawrence County, it's not for you folks down in Lawrence County, Kentucky. You guys are okay. It's northern Lawrence County. So this is well north of Ashland, Ironton. You guys don't have to worry about this. It's not moving in your direction. It's moving east, not moving south. Huntington is fine as well. And it's a pretty small signature. But again, this is moving its way across western parts of Lawrence County, Ohio right now. And just checking, looking at the hail signature, again, that's not been an issue with this thing. It's not a particularly deep storm. It doesn't grow high into the atmosphere. But it has had this really tight radar signature when we're looking at the velocity. And what we're looking at here is the wind, not so much the precipitation. We're looking at the wind that the radar is picking up on. And what it's picking up on is inbound and outbound winds. So instead of it all being green and coming from one direction, you're seeing the red and the green. That means inbound and outbound winds. So there's twisting right there. So anytime we see this red and this green touching, that indicates rotation and at least a possible tornado. And so that's what's prompted this tornado warning. And we continue to see that signature. What I'd like to see is just the red kind of go away and just see some green here on the radar. But at least for right now, we continue to see that kind of tight rotation signature. And again, that's right there. That's northwest of Center Station currently. And approaching Buckhorn Superior North Road. So anybody along that road, you want to be in your safe spot as this storm passes by. And this is going to cross Route 93 here. I'm going to check and see if we got any other updates from the National Weather Service. It doesn't look like we've had any updates here just recently. So that's the signature that we're looking at there right now. And again, that's a tornado warning. I think this is starting to move out of the Scioto County area. That warning's still in effect, but it looks like this signature is moving through Lawrence County now, northern half of Lawrence County, Ohio. So again, Center Station, looks like the signature may pass just north of you, but you want to be in your safe spots here anytime it's that close. There's that rotating signature here that's moving off to the east currently. So yeah, again, I think this warning here is going to come down pretty quickly. I think it'll expire at 8:45 over southern Scioto County, but this one in Lawrence County remains in effect until 9:15. So again, that's where we're seeing that signature right now on radar, making its way towards Route 93. So still a tight signature on radar. National Weather Service keeping that tornado warning in effect. And again, take this track out, but just don't get a lot of towns showing up here just because of the rural nature of where this is. But yeah, still seeing, looks like on the latest scan here, a little bit of some radar distortion perhaps, as this is making its way off to the north and east. And again, it's moving at around 30 miles an hour. So we continue to see that, that signature right there. And it does look like, if anything, it's gotten, probably a little bit stronger here recently, unfortunately. That at least that radar signature that we're seeing. So that's why the National Weather Service issued the tornado warning for as long as they have. So again, that's continuing to move its way off to the north and to the east. So that's going to probably parallel Waterloo, Mount Vernon Road here as that moves off to the east at around 30 miles an hour. But again, a very tight signature here on radar. And if you're in Buckhorn, you want to be in your safe spot. I would even still, get in your safe spot in Olive Furnace. If you're up in the Olive Furnace area, it's close enough, this signature, to there, that I would probably take shelter there. And certainly in, Center Station, even though I think it looks like the rotation is going a little further north. And so it does look like that Scioto County warning has come down. But again, we're focusing right now on northern Lawrence County, Ohio. With this tornado warning, it's in effect. And again, that continues to make its way off to the east around 30 miles an hour. And that's what we're monitoring there. So there's another updated scan. And yeah, you can still see some of that rotation. So this is, about to cross over Route 93 within the next couple of minutes. So right along Route 93 there near Buckhorn and just south of Buckhorn, that's where this rotation will be passing as it makes its way on off to the east. And so we continue to see that circulation right there. It's very small. It's not large, and it's varied in strength. But that's what we're watching there right now, is that signature, and that's what's prompted the tornado warning from the National Weather Service. And again, that's about to cross over Route 93 there in northern Lawrence County. So we're continuing to follow this. We're staying on this just because of the potential danger from this storm for folks that are in the path of it. And I know that a lot of people are not. But for folks in northern Lawrence County, this is definitely something to take seriously and to get in your safe spot in case this is a tornado. And again, we don't have any confirmation of it, but in these kind of rural zones like this, it's going to be tough to get any confirmation of a tornado on the ground anyway. So, given the signature that the National Weather Service was seeing with this particular cell, they issued that tornado warning. So it does look like they've trimmed that back a little bit here. And I'll check out the latest update. Does look like, well, I don't see an update yet on this as far as the text is concerned. Okay, there we go. Still radar indicated rotation. Locations impacted include Waterloo and Vernon. And again, that's still in effect until 9:15. As of 8:46, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Lake Vesuvius. and moving east at around 25 miles an hour. So the cell's slowed down. I think it's slowed down a little bit. It's kind of what I was seeing on radar, that it was losing a little bit of its momentum forward. But again, near Lake Vesuvius, so it's up, right along. If there is a tornado, it would be right in this zone, right over Route 93 currently, south of Buckhorn. And so, this will be passing probably just north of Waterloo, Mount Vernon Road, but into some of these zones right in here. So it's a lot of smaller roads back in here, not many actual towns, but it is passing near Lake Vesuvius right now, which folks know in that area. That's where a possible tornado would be with this particular storm. And there's the latest radar signature. It hasn't really changed very much. It's just been one cell kind of detached from everything else, is kind of out on its own, and just kind of maintaining its structure there. And again, not seeing a kind of, sometimes with these tornado producing thunderstorms, you'll see a real strong hail signature. Definitely not seeing that with this one. It just is a lot of spin in the environment with the radar. That's what's prompting this tornado warning. So that's what we're seeing here crossing Route 93 right now. And then that's going to be making its way on off to the east. And again, it's going to be impacting some of these areas here. Not a lot of population over here, but still a lot of rural routes over here that this system is passing over. And it's that red and that green. We keep seeing that right now. I haven't really seen any diminishing trend with that currently. It continues to maintain itself moving through that particular area. And yeah, I think moving, probably a little north of due east. So continuing to move, it's slowed down a little bit. So moving at about 25 miles an hour right now. And again, if you're in Ashland, Ironton, I know we're talking about Lawrence County, but, this is not impacting you guys, not impacting Huntington, staying well north of there, staying well north of Aid in Lawrence County. This is well north of you. You're not impacted by this. It's really the northern part of Lawrence County right now. And, yeah, they're still seeing, this is a strong structure. If I was seeing this weakening, I would go back, to regular programming, get you back to the draft. But right now, I'm seeing a pretty concerning wind structure right here. If anything, this storm has probably tightened up a little bit more. So that definitely, it's not trending in the right direction as of right now. So I want to keep it on this because of what I'm seeing here. I just don't like the trend of that right now. And again, that's kind of moving. That's southeast of Buckhorn right now, moving off to the east-northeast. So some of this will probably clip this part of Waterloo, Mount Vernon Road as it makes its way to the east. Let me see if I'm going to get... Not getting very much there, but yeah, again, still seeing that strong rotating signature. As far as storm reports, I haven't gotten anything out of this cell. Again, this thing originated back in Lawrence County. You don't have any storm reports as of right now. We have had some pretty heavy rainfall observed with this. Just in the last... there's right along that cell, we've seen some rainfall totals. It might be reading a little high, but yeah, at least over an inch, maybe upwards of 2 inches with this cell. And again, because it's slowing down, that's only allowing the rainfall totals to build up even more. Again, the hail potential has still not been very impressive on this, but it's all because of that tight rotating signature. And it's real small, but it's right there. So these, we're getting winds right in here. On the order of about, at least radar estimated upwards of about 100 miles an hour. So there's definitely, even if this isn't an official tornado, that small pocket right in there, and that's right over Park Road 127, I believe. I mean, that is indicating radar estimated winds of about 100 miles an hour right over that zone there. So whether that's straight line winds or a tornado, it doesn't matter because those are obviously damaging winds. Can cause structural damage. So that's why it's very important if you're in this northern Lawrence County, Ohio area that you want to be inside in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, preferably a basement. And that's where you want to ride this thing out. Now, again, I think this is past east of Route 93 right now. So Center Station, I think you're fine. I think this has moved east of the Buckhorn area, so I think you're fine. But this is making its way east-northeast. Now, if it were to hold together, it would move into western Gallia County. And at least on this current path, maybe approach at least be in the vicinity of the Cadmus area eventually, and Gallia, right there along Route 233, 141. So that's what we'd be watching for there as that moves. Again, it's kind of moving a little bit north of due east. So it's kind of moving in that direction. So McDaniel Crossroad would be another spot. You're not in the tornado warning as of right now, but we're going to see they've tightened this warning up a little bit more. So they have taken some of those areas out west out of that warning. And still looking at that velocity signature right there. Last couple frames, this thing continues to cycle. The last couple frames look a little less impressive, but I want to see that trend continue before these storms have a history of weakening and then they strengthen again. We call it cycling. So they kind of regain their energy again over periods. They don't just kind of fall apart like some storms do. And this one has been, again, very, very long-lived because we saw this develop earlier this evening all the way down in southwestern Lawrence County. This thing is basically tracked all the way from there. So while most of the storms today and showers have just kind of flared up and fallen apart and then regenerated somewhere else, this particular one has been very persistent and kind of making its way off to the east. So still seeing that signature right there. Again, northern Lawrence County, Ohio. And does include the tornado warning far southern parts of Gallia County right now. Right at the county border right there. But again, the focal point is right there. So it does look like this is kind of staying just north of Waterloo, Mount Vernon Road at the time being. But we have had some very strong radar signatures with this cell as it's making its way off to the east. And it continues to maintain that structure there. I can go back a couple frames, just kind of watch that signature as it's making its way across northeastern parts of Lawrence County. So I want to see another couple of radar updates from this in terms of how it's behaving. Because even though this is a small storm, it has had a very intense radar signature with it. And just in the last couple of frames, it has looked a little bit less, perhaps a little bit less organized, not necessarily weaker, but at least maybe a little less rotation feature on it. Now, it still makes it a very strong storm, but it might have a little bit less rotation on it than it did. But want to see that trend for a couple more radar scans here. Okay, that's a positive sign right there. That does look quite a bit weaker than what it was. You see a lot less red and green. So given that I'm seeing that right now, we are going to keep you guys updated. And if I see this strengthen again, I will jump back on TV. But for right now, I want to get you guys back to your regularly scheduled programming.